Why, hello there, my fellow siege engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Oak Brethren. Episode 21, a siege camp on our roof. I wonder if I stop giving them work to do, whether we'll actually do the hauling that we need to grab the stuff that's out of the base. I do see that we have our wooden sticks going back up. And now that it's towards the end of the winter, I think what I could do is reduce the intensity of the braziers to save on a little bit of fuel. I'm just concerned about like not having them become hypothermic and like get hurt, but I think we're well outside that temperature tolerance. The snow on the decks, yeah, it looks really nice. The snow in this game looks great. I just wish there was like a layer overlay to allow you to like see through it. Oh yeah, someone's been hauling the wood. Now we're up to 500. Well, that might not be an immediate concern anymore. So I think the big bottleneck now might be smelting iron. Because we don't have a lot of iron, we don't have a lot of steel, and that's probably what is holding up the construction. No, we have all the wooden and mechanical components that we need for a trebuchet. Well, in that case, we just got it. So the next research that I'm going to get, at least for now, is going to be the Furniture 2 that was long overdue. So that is just 4 more textbooks. But with the Trebuchet researched, you can see how, like, enormous it is. But the idea that I had was if we put, like, a trebuchet like there, let's say. Obviously, I'm not going to physically build it. The reason I wanted to wait is so that we could plan out our ballista structures to not conflict with trebuchets. So if I ended up let's see, if I ended up putting a tree bucket there, then I could put one. I could widen the roof a little bit by 2 tiles, and like put one here, and put one here, and that would allow us to fire in every cardinal direction with a trebuchet. That was mostly my concern, is that we would be able to fire in every direction. The other thing that I could do, worst case scenario, is flatten out the roof of the Oak Brethren temple. So rather have a tile roof, have it be a flat roof, and then put the trebuchets up there as well. Where we could build pillars and build a flat roof over almost everything. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. If we had like a ballista here, I don't believe that's necessarily going to be a problem if we end up having like a roof tile above it. Like, if we did something like that. It's too far from a stable structure, but I think you can see where I'm going with. So the question for you guys is, should I place the trebuchets on the roof of the temple? If not, I'll try to work them into the floor. But if we put it on the roof of the temple, the idea would be to put pillars up here, put my ballista, you know, underneath the roof, and then the trebuchets above them. And that way we could have more siege equipment, rather than to have to, like, figure out how to squish everything in. And this is exactly why I wanted to wait for the trebuchet, because now we understand how freaking huge these things are. Because these are a 5x5? I think they're the biggest object in the game, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the prayer circle's only a 3x3. The blacksmith is a 3x4. So a 5x5 is like easily the largest thing that we have had so far. And it looks like you guys are okay with putting it on the roof. Got it. All right. Well, that is useful information. So what I'll end up doing is I could put in like double ballista. I'm just theoretically, I'm not actually building them just yet, but double ballista in every cardinal direction. And it's going to be a little different on these sides, because these sides, what I'll try to do is I'll have these sides mimic the other sides in terms of its exact placement. Because these, as you can probably see, they're a little offset from the gate, right? Just because of the way the pawn works. So I would try to have them offset the same percentage, where it's like one left or one right of the gate. So I'd be putting, not that I can actually physically place it, but I'd be putting my ballista like here and here, right? So that their firing zoning is the same on all sides of the base. But knowing that so at this point, what I want to do next is to figure out how to have ballista and also a roof on top of everything. That way we can fit more in. So I think before we do any of this, we ought to replace the roof of the temple. Come on, just cancel the freaking thing. There we go. Replace the roof of the temple and build a staircase up to the top roof where the trebuchets will be, and then start building everything else. So I'll update the priority now. Build siege defenses. What are anti-trebuchets? Other trebuchets? I mean, the thing is, like, once trebuchets historically were like invented, it almost negated the need. Trebuchets sort of countered everything. Castle walls, moats. I mean, it didn't matter what you had. Once trebuchets were invented, castles were almost became obsolete. Because if you could build a bigger trebuchet outside of a castle, then the castle had a trebuchet guarding it, you had greater range. And you could just hammer your enemy until they surrendered. Trebuchets were quite the equalizer, in the same way that once, you know, guns came onto the scene, guns became a big equalizer as well. Whereas before guns, or I would say even crossbows more than that, before crossbows, it took a considerable amount of wealth to have a trained archery regiment, because of the amount of skill required to fire a bow accurately and the amount of time dedicated towards that profession, essentially. And then crossbows made it so that, like, any moron with a foot and a hand could fire a crossbow, you know, and it made longbowmen and a considerable amount of armor obsolete in the same way, you know. So there's really not like an anti-trebuchet exactly in the game. It's just like you hit trebuchets bigger. Friendly visit. Oh, that's old. Spring. That's new. What's the firing arm for the trebuchet? So you can see the minimum distance here. But, like, the maximum distance is, like, the whole map. Nothing is safe from a trebuchet shot. Snoozer, thank you for the resub. That's funny. Roofs were fine, but apparently, let's do it like this. Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, we're going to want cross beams like that. So space already occupied. Let's fix that. That was weird. Oh, but the that's in the way. Shoot. Ah. How to hold up this roof? I mean, I could just have one arch, but I don't like the aesthetics of that. The asymmetry of that. I just could bite the bullet and be like, oh well, whatever. Because the other... I don't know. Maybe I do that? Let's shrug. It's fine. There we go. Well, the arches aren't symmetrical, but for a building of this size is what we can do. So we'll probably need more clay to get that part built. So now that we can actually see what the hell we're digging up, let's go for the clay. And then it's going to be a matter of putting up roof-like structures, which is a little tricky here. Now the question is, can I... Oh, no, that's not going to work. Would I be able to... Oh, yeah, that... Well, no. Yes, that works. It's a wee bit uggles. And then the stair... Okay, so in this case... What I'll do is I'll have 2 stairs up to the top. There's also like a possibility siege, enemy siege breaks one route, so having redundancy isn't a terrible thing. There. I like that for support. I think that will look nice. And I can give the outer columns like kind of the rounded look. We'll see how this ends up looking. I think this will work. And that will keep the roof for the trebuchets you know, constructed and good. Now the real tricky part will be to try to make it, like, functionally symmetrical. Well, it actually won't be too tricky, because I can just line it up with this here. Would be like that. Not that I have the clay to build this. So it's not like a true plus sign, right? It's water on one end because of the pond, but I think once it's done, it will be still symmetrical on this line. And it will be functional and work nicely. So now it's just a matter of making enough clay tile so that we can tile up the roof top so that there's not like a flammability problem. Because that's the big thing, is I don't want the top here to catch fire during a siege defense. Because if we're having to put out fires, we're then subsequently not firing our own siege equipment. So making sure that we have inflammable clay tiles up there is going to be really important. So many animals. I am surprised how, like, remarkably easy it is to feed all of them. Now, unless I have some, like, massive pillar support, these are not going to be as big as these. So we're going to have, like, a big deck for these spots, but the deck for here is going to be smaller. But it's still going to be enough to support, like, 2 ballista. Because it's the same width. So that doesn't really matter. As long as it has the ability to have ballista up there. Looks like an upside-down acorn? Yeah, a little bit. If it came to more of a point. Alright, research for Furniture 2 is done. I don't think I'm going to be rolling out the quality badge just yet, because got a lot of other things going on. But one of the other nice things about the Furniture 2 eventually is the armor racks. So our brawlers will be able to rack their armor. Given that we're working on defenses, I think the next thing for me to research... An apothecary bench would be really nice, so that we can make medicine. I'm going to have you choose between... Chemistry, Armorer 3 for the plate armor, Shields 3, and Oil Press. All 4 of these options are all related to defense. So Chemistry would be for medicine, obviously. The Armorer 3 would be for better brawler armor. Same with Shields. And then the Oil Press allows us to make flammable oil and to put flammable oil on the ground so that we can potentially let it on fire when we need it. Would crossbows be better for longbows for us? Probably. I suppose what I could do is I could actually include crossbows in that too. So, sorry, I removed the poll, but here it is again. I'll include crossbows. I'm going to start to allow the fields to be sown. I don't exactly know where the moat's going to go just yet, but I'll leave plenty of room to be able to grow food around the edge of our castle regarding the moat. Oh, so much clay. This is quite the clay fortress, isn't it? So I have 680 clay excavated right now. That's a pretty good amount. We'll just need to keep firing it and then constructing with it. And the most important part is right there, that clay brick floor. It's too bad there's not like a priority... There's priority hull, but there's not priority construct. Because I can't... You know, I could tell them to build it, but they're going to build what they're going to build. Because we can't hold an event until that's done. Hey, Ban. Ban the man. Thank you for the raid. What were you streaming? It says it's just chatting. Was it a just chatting day, or is that incorrect? And welcome to you and your raiders. For you and your raiders, we're currently voting on my next research project. Between, I guess it's a toss-up between chemistry, which is medicine, and crossbows. But my current project right now is we're trying to build siege equipment on my castle so that if we get attacked, we can use siege equipment to kill the enemies, which is going to be a lot of fun. And if you don't know anything about this game, here's some details. You were playing some Next Fest stuff, so you're switching around a lot. Cool. Was there a specific game that you were impressed by, or was it all samesies? What I will say in my experience is a lot of the, like, you know, I'm sure this is true for you. I got peppered with like Next Fest stuff, but a lot of it was like demos that just didn't have a lot of content, which is probably why you were jumping around. Where's the minigun? Oh, if only. What was that? Kung Fury? Yeah, go back in time with a minigun. Let her rip! But yeah, this is my beautiful castle. I'll give you the tour. And also for viewers that haven't seen the whole thing. So on the ground floor, we've got, in the four cardinal directions, we have gates. And then a great hall. Oh, what the hell? Don't pray there. I'm glad I did the tour, because I just realized we have the old school Oak Brethren Shrine, which completely should be removed. And the kitchen. Below this, and we also have a pond here, which apparently has no fish right now, which is odd. But yeah, our pond. And then below underground, we've got our stockroom and food storage. And then second floor, we've got bedrooms. Third floor, we've got our workshop and 2 bedrooms. Fourth floor, we got a library and 2 empty rooms, which will become bedrooms. And then on the rooftop, we are installing siege equipment, or we will be once we have the clay to do it. And the whole theme of this run, and for those that don't know this game, this is basically like a voxel 3-dimensional rim world in medieval times. And the theme of this run is that we're all roughly of the same religion. That's not 100% true. I think Viking is of the wrong religion because he randomly converted. And we are, we're like druids. Monastery druids, just like hiding away. All right, looks to me like you guys want me to research chemistry, so I'll queue up chemistry next. So chemistry is a 30-15-15 project. $15 thesis, 30 chronicles, and 30 textbooks. It's expensive. No, 30-15-15. I read that wrong. Okay, there we go. I didn't explain the well? Oh, yeah. So in the middle of the base is like a shaft for wells so that we can put out fires. Trying to build as fireproof of a monastery as possible. So we don't Notre Dame ourselves. Too soon? Too soon. Guess Notre Dame wasn't a monastery. I can't think of like a monastery off the top of my head. So forgive me. Chemistry gives you the ability to make medicine. So if we are, you know, trying to ramp up our military, it's, I think, kind of useful to be able to heal the people that get hurt. I did buy some simple medicine in the past, but it's so massively overpriced, it's probably best we make it rather than purchase. And I'm gonna guess we're relatively out of clay for the next step. So, excavate some deposits. You haven't touched this game in at least 3 years. It looks like they really streamlined a great deal. Yeah, it's gotten a lot of updates. Some of the biggest updates in the last few years is water mechanics, which I really can't show on this map because most maps have like a river running through it. And with the river, you can build like aquifers and dams and moats and things, but I only really had a little pond. And I walled up around the pond so I would have a source of water. They added in jobs. so that people can have certain jobs and roles like... Oh, good! I'll be able to demonstrate firsthand, because in about 1 hour in-game, I'll be able to hold a ritual event where we sacrifice an animal. But people can have roles, you can have prisoners, you can have prison laborers, siege equipment. Yeah, there's a whole lot of new game mechanics that this game has added that, you know, since really early on in development that I think adds a lot to the game. And if you look at the top left, because I see your questions, there is 16 levels. So there's 1 through 16, so you can, you know, build massive structures if you so choose. Which is pretty cool. Alright, there is a little spot in the middle that is not supported. Which is fine. That should work. Once the pillar's done, that will be supported. So if you're wondering, this project here is so that we can put trebuchets on a roof to kill, or at least to fight, any siege that comes to hit us. And then on the floor below will be ballistae that we can use to fight infantry that are ingressing. Here's perk up. Did I say internships? Yes. There's a new job called a jailer, and you can capture prisoners and convert them to recruit, or have them be prison labor. And if you are a red-blooded American like myself, you know prison labor is just a fancy term for slave labor. That got darker than I intended it. But it doesn't make it any less true. I use the correct plural of ballistae. Well, my mom don't educate me good. Which, in that accent, was insulting. Especially given the state I was born in. Which, even mentioning that was also insulting. Never mind. I'll just stop while I'm only a little behind. I think at this point we could probably shut off the braziers. I love how it's just off. It's not like extinguish. It's just brazier on, off, like a light switch. I speak gooder than y'all. Yes. Especially given that I have like a head cold and I have a scratchy voice. I am the gooder speaker. Well, my, so Ban, my mom and grandmother are from the Yins part of PA. So yes, I am dreadfully aware of the Yins, and I hate it. What a travesty of language. Research available. Chem still waiting. So yeah, this is just a matter of the production of clay tile. It might also be helpful to like actually have the stairs that we have lead somewhere, because at the moment they lead to nowhere. They lead to like an OSHA disaster waiting to happen. Which is funny until you fall. And then it's, well, I guess it's honestly still funny. I'm curious if there really is a stability issue, or if it's just like, I haven't built the other tiles. Like, how is this not supported? It's literally attached to a wall. Like, that part doesn't even make sense to me. The other thing I just realized is one of the missing arches that we have is this arch, which I'll pop in now. Having it be overly supported and overly stable prevents it from having one, like, linchpin, where if we lose the linchpin, the whole thing comes collapsing. And I really don't want to be in a situation where our roof collapses in on us. That would be bad. That is, I would say... I mean, generally in Going Medieval, you don't necessarily have, like, mega towers like I'm building here. But the problem with mega towers like I'm building here is if you have, like, a stability issue. Like, for instance, if I somehow removed a few of the pillars on the bottom floor, like, the whole thing would just start crumbling. It kind of reminds me of, like, playing, like, 7 Days to Die, where you're trying to, like, get to the roof of a building, and you're like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna, like, demolish its foundation, and the whole thing will cave in. You know? Or rust. Oh, God. It gives me nightmares. Building, like, a really nice tower in rust, and having some hacker go, boop, 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 knocking out your bottom walls, and then the whole thing comes caving in, and you're like, cool. So I worked how many hours on that? And they hacked for how many seconds, and it's gone? Rage quit. Totes speaking from experience. So it seems like there is, like, a little divot hole that might need some love. But, most of the clay tiles are getting laid. Looking good. What I don't understand is, how is this supported and not this? They're, as far as I was aware, everything is symmetrical. So if one is supported, the other is supported. I am confused. It's heart-shaped? Yeah, I guess. For now. We are, of course, putting a whole bunch of siege equipment on the top. So it's... yeah. Oh! This... okay. So an ailing traveler shuffled haltingly into Oak Hall. Given time to recuperate, she claimed they could work. She is an Oak Brethren. All right. She's a Wallace. Ah, she's of the Wallace clan. She's a soothsaying gravedigger. So I think I know why you're being chased. Someone called you a witch and you went, yeah, and what of it? And then realized that they were come to burn you. Sure. Well, welcome in. That's... you... what? Oh my good lord. She's like, I've arrived. Collapse. She's just about almost dead. She's not actively bleeding. She's just unconscious. So I'm not really sure how she asked to join. But she is a soothsaying gravedigger. So, like, maybe she used ghost magic. She dug the graves at Floyer Churchyard. Well, she has, like, some really good stats. So let's go ahead and fire up a raffle for the new girl. What the hell name is that, though? I can't say your name, or whatever. Witch. You're just Witch Wallace. And, raffle timer is up. Alright, taking a look at her jobs. She is the most eager to grow and cut plants, which is, like, super awesome. And then she's really good at mining as well. She hates art, so I'm not going to have her do art. For whatever reason, when I said that, it reminded me of Wolverine when asked what he was a professor of, and he goes, art. It's like, you're Wolverine, you're not a professor of art, but all right. Urgent haul. Okay, so her priorities are done. She does have a burning passion in melee. So I do think, and her perks is Green Thumb and Chili, so she doesn't really have any penalties in melee. I think in this case, it makes sense to set her up as a brawler, but I don't have the gear to do that yet. So I'm going to want to get another hatchet, shield, and a full set of armor for her, so that Witch Wallace here can help murder some people with an axe. You know, like you do. And is someone going to save her? Jobs. Frozen. Carry Witch Wallace to empty bed. So I don't think that this is one of those scenarios where she's actually being chased by a hostile. I think she's just like super hurt and needs somewhere to recover. I could be wrong. We'll see if there's like extortionists. Alright, what gives? Fine. I'm just gonna put like a pillar there. Is it possible to plant an oak on the roof? I mean, there is one. So, not only is it possible, been there, done that. I am being told that there's not enough beds. Ooh. Well then. Honestly, I probably should start rolling out the quality linen beds, but like, I'm lazy, so I'm not doing that right now. But I am setting her up in one. Huh. Yeah, I'm getting some symmetry issues. Alright, I'm gonna have to change a little of the design. I hope it doesn't collapse. Please don't collapse on me. And do a ritual for Banlish? Yeah. Oh god. Yep, collapse. There you go, the stability problems. Crunch! It's fine. I will do the ritual in just a sec. I want to get a bed for Witch Wallace, and then we'll set it up. So there we go. We have a bed chamber. And this is going to be Witch Wallace's bedroom. And she is going to be set to heal. Because she's like hurt as hell. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Oak Brethren, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow druids.